What is up, everyone? My name is Quentin, also known as the Young Enthusiast. Yes, I am bringing that back. I know it's been a long time since I've been named that, but yeah, I've decided to bring it back. It's my act now. But that's not what I wanted to talk about today. Today we are in my new city that I've lived in for about 2 months. Well, 4 months. Dang, it's actually been a long time. 6 months living here. But today we are going to celebrate the last video of my 2014 Honda Civic Si. That's right, I am now getting rid of the Civic Si. I've had this car for about a year and a half now. And I'll tell you, this has been a great car. It's really been a great car. Probably the best daily that I've ever had. One of the most reliable vehicles I've ever had, mechanical wise at least. But there are some things that I wanted to talk about with my ownership experience with this car. So we're going to get into it. So this car's been pretty good for the year and a half that I've had it. I bought it at 86,000 miles, and it just crossed 105,000 miles yesterday actually. So here are some of the things that went wrong on this car while I've had it. This car has been pretty expensive to maintain in general, really. And if it wasn't for that CarMax warranty, I would have been screwed. Which is one of the reasons why I'm trading it in for the mystery car that I'm going to reveal probably next week, because that's when I get it. This car is powered by a 2.4 liter K24 Z7 engine, making 205 horsepower, 174 foot-pounds of torque. Which is crazy, is that it makes more torque than what my Abarth used to make, but it only makes 4 pound-feet more. And the engine's literally like a liter bigger. I guess that's what the power of turbos are. So what I've had to do to this car is replace the entire AC system. I mean the entire AC system, under warranty at CarMax. It's crazy too, because this is a 2014 car, and this car's been in the shop longer than what the Miata has this year. The Miata's at the shop right now getting its timing belt and water pump done. But the only times I've ever had to take the Miata to the shop was really because of things that I did, like wrecking it. And it wasn't even at the shop that long, it was there for a day. This car spent weeks at the shop getting the AC done, and the first time was back in like February. I took it to the shop because the AC stopped running. It was just blowing hot. It turns out the AC compressor was leaking. Yeah, it turned out all the refrigerant had leaked out, and they didn't catch what was leaking at the time, so they were just refilled it, and like before summer it finally went out. Like in like April or May it finally went out again, and all the refrigerant had leaked out. I took it to CarMax again, and this was actually around the time when I was moving here, and it turned out that the AC compressor itself was leaking, and they replaced the entire system. That would have been $2,000 if I didn't have that warranty. $2,000. It took me 3 years to actually spend $2,000 on that Miata. And one of the reasons why I had to spend that much is because I crashed it. That's crazy though. That's really the bad thing about driving these newer cars, which is one of the reasons I decided to trade it in for something more simple. If you guys have been watching my last videos, you probably wouldn't be surprised of what I got. It's kind of predictable looking at all the videos I've made recently, but at the same time, it's also not what you would have been expecting. It's predictable and unpredictable at the same time. So the other things that I've had to do to this car since I got it is the last thing I took it in the shop for. I actually had to take it to Honda this time. CarMax couldn't do it. was this screen right here. I don't know if the camera can see it, but this is the iMid screen, and pretty much shows everything. Phone's going off. It pretty much shows everything that you need to see on this car. It shows all your warnings. It shows you how many miles you have to empty. It shows you your miles. I mean, this screen has been out for so long that when it first went out, I had 90. I think I had 93 or 94,000 miles when it went out, and that was just a little bit before I moved out of where I was living at before. And when I finally got it back working, when I finally got it replaced, it was at 103,000 miles. It's been like 2 months now since then. It's crazy. That I really think that it was a bad idea to integrate the miles into that. I think it would have been better to integrate it into this right here, since it's not a real screen, it's actually analog. I really hate this car because of some of the technology it has, and it's really been really expensive. I'm glad I had the warranty. The warranty pretty much paid for itself whenever the AC went out. I'm gonna click this seatbelt because I'm gonna get ready to drive in a minute. But yeah, the AC was $2,000 and the warranty was only like $1,500. So if you ever get a car from CarMax, I do recommend you get the warranty if you can afford it. It might save you, which it has in this car, because this was over $1,500 as well. $1,500 just to have this screen replaced. Be honest with you, if this car wasn't under warranty, I probably either have done it myself, or I wouldn't have done it at all and just take the hit whenever I got ready to trade this car in, because it is crazy how much this technology costs. And I'm really looking forward to having a more simple car. I mean, the car that I have is going to be really simple, but I will say this: it has digital gauges as well, and they are prone to going out, but they'll be a lot easier to replace. But that's pretty much the gripes that I've had with this car. Other than that, everything's been great. Windows have been working great. Sunroof never flew off like it did on my Integra. The radio sounds great, and everything's pretty much been good on this car. Other than that, starts up every time, never had any problems. And if you guys notice, I put it back to stock. The only thing that I don't have stock now is the exhaust, of course, but that's pretty much it. This car's been great. 20,000 miles later, I've really enjoyed this car. I've taken it to Atlanta for caffeine and octane. I had a whole bunch of road trips with this car, and to be honest with you, it's going to be bittersweet getting rid of it. I really enjoyed this car, but we are going to go on one last drive to celebrate this car. This will be my last weekend with it. Oh, and another thing that was also pretty annoying about this car is that since the iMid screen went out on it, if the tire pressure light came on, you wouldn't be able to do anything about it, because the freaking iMid screen, the tire pressure is integrated into the iMid screen. You can't calibrate it unless the iMid screen is working, and that's what sucks. And if the tire pressure light is on, you can't turn off traction control, which is really crazy if you ask me. I've never seen that before. One thing I just don't like about these Hondas in general is that how expensive they are. Not even just to repair stuff, but how expensive it is to buy. I'll be honest with you. I kind of do regret buying this car a little bit because of how expensive it was. I mean, I bought this car from CarMax, and CarMax is normally more expensive than all the other car places. But heck, now, and granted, I bought this car in 2020 when all the car prices were extraordinary. Now, there's a couple of 9th Gen SIs for sale around the same year and like 100,000 miles. They are still selling them for as much as what I paid for this car. Hell, even the cheapest 9th Gens I see, which are typically like the early sedans, like the 2012 sedans with over 100,000 miles, they're still like $18,000. Be honest with you, in my state of mind, I just wanted something completely reliable. After dealing with the air bars, I wanted something that wouldn't break at all. I was kind of tired of having car problems. But, be honest with you, at that price, there were a bunch of cars that I could have ended up getting, to be honest with you. Now, at first, I was trying to buy a 2011 Mustang GT, the late S197 Mustang GTs with a 5-liter. I was trying to buy one of those from Carvana, but they wouldn't let me buy it because most of my money was coming from overtime when I was still working at my old position at my job. And they didn't count overtime as your actual income for some reason, even though it's pretty much guaranteed overtime. Overtime was mandatory in that job, Monday through Saturday, 60 hours a week, which is crazy because they didn't say anything about that when I bought the Abarth. And this car was definitely way more expensive than the Abarth. But yeah, this is crazy to think. This, at a 197 GT, cost about the same, which is baffling because they're about the same years. These are actually around the same years. I guess it really tells you how popular SIs really are, to be honest with you. But I don't know if I'd pay that much for an SI, to be honest with you, when they got cars like that. I was looking up about a few months ago. They had an Infiniti G37 in the best looking red color I've ever seen on an Infiniti, with bronze wheels and a manual transmission. It was a coupe for about the same price as what I paid for this car. I'll be honest with you, I would have rather had that than this. Focus STs, Fiesta STs are really cheap, like way cheaper than these things are. And what's funny is you're never going to get your money back if you buy one of these cars at that price, to be honest with you. I kind of wish I went and got like an 8th gen instead, to be honest with you, because it would have been a lot cheaper for pretty much more or less about the same experience, which was a good experience, don't get me wrong. I love this car, I really do. But man, did I regret buying it, seeing how expensive everything was. And with this new car that I got, the prices, the expenses are literally like half the price. Insurance is cheaper as well. Car payments is less, like half the price. I was paying $232 a month for this car, and the car that I just got is $247 a month. It's also cheaper with insurance too. The insurance for both the Miata and the car that I have is $197 a month, both of them for full coverage. While when I first got this car, I switched insurance providers. It was $242 a month. The dang insurance for this car when I first got it cost almost as much as the car payments I'm paying now. And now both of the cars on Progressive cost less than what the one car payment was for this car. But one of the main reasons why I wanted to trade this car is because I wanted something different, and because I wanted something way cheaper, to be honest with you. Because I'm going to start saving up for a house or a condo, and my goal is to save up $30,000 within 5 years. I think it'll be possible. It shouldn't really be too hard. I save up money pretty easily, to be honest with you. And for the longest time, I wanted to get another app bar because it felt a lot more special than what this car felt like. I was actually kind of bored with this car, really, to be honest with you. While it'll still completely stop, the exhaust has definitely made this car a lot more fun to drive. And then I added those wheels and the lights. It really felt like it was my own. To be honest with you, this car really does make you feel like you're an NPC, which one thing I do like about it, it feels normal and it makes me feel mature driving it. I kind of like a humble car as well, but I prefer my cars to feel flashy and more exotic, or feel classic, like it's from a different era. I don't really like modern cars for the most part. They're cool, they definitely drive great, but they kind of feel isolated, normal. They're definitely way faster than anything from the past. Though the car that I got will be the fastest car that I've ever had in a straight line. So that's going to be something different. But this car's been great. Other than that, I took it racing a couple of times in autocross and barbers. I don't like it in autocrossing. The handling isn't really that good in that type of sport, to be honest with you. I think it's just better being on the streets like this. And the way our autocross is, it's kind of set up like a real track. It's Barber Motorsports Proving Grounds. I've never understeered with this car on the street. Matter of fact, I've oversteered a bunch. This car will get the back end out if you're driving it hard enough, and I do like that. But overall, this car is just too expensive for what it is. If I can spend $10,000 and get something that kind of feels more special than this, I mean, really, the car I bought is pretty much the most special feeling car that you can get for around that price. It ain't fast, it's not super popular, but it feels different, way different. And whenever I get it, you guys will finally see what I'm talking about. It is definitely a unique and special car, and it's mint. It's an old car, it's a classic, but it's mint. And I think I'll be driving it for a while, especially since I'm pretty much bulletproofing the Miata right now, getting its timing belt and water pump done. After that, I can depend on the Miata like I depend on this car. Heck, I never had anything go wrong with the Miata either. It's just some extra precautions. I don't want the timing belt to snap while I'm driving it. Thank you guys for listening to my ramblings about this car and what I thought about it. If you guys are excited about my next car and my future adventures, please like, share, and subscribe. And hopefully, I can get some more content out once I get this new car. I know you guys are looking forward to it. I've gotten so many subscribers off of that last driving video that I've done. And I thank you guys. Almost 3,000 views on that video. It's crazy. I never had a video blow up like that before, even on my old channel. But I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys later.